Very important right now for you to take 1 second and hit that like button. Help push us through the YouTube algorithm. And then it's also equally as important to pound on that bell notification, hit that bell notification and click all. That way you stay up to date on all my latest videos as the inflationary depression that I've been warning of opinions, because I am not a financial advisor. This is just my overall thesis of the market, right? And as we get into it now, you can see the XRP price is now sitting. So that's what we're looking like there. If we look at Ethereum, some of our 2024 must-own coins for the start of the next bull run is by 2024, you should be accumulating a good stack of these as we hit some lower levels. But in the short term, Ethereum is sitting here in this blue support zone, and we're just following it. We've traded through the blue ring. We traded down it briefly, had a nice little pump up there, then got rejected, and just trading along the 1279-ish level mark, the top part of this blue support resistance zone. And if we can't hold this, you can see how we almost collapsed down right there, but then we got a little bit of a pump. This area down here, excuse me French, let's put another price note. This area down here is your next major area that you're going to come to if you can't hold where you're at now, this current little major support level. In the short time frame, you would come down to 1,089.95. On any kind of big pump up, the moving averages, the 100 and the 50 from top to bottom in blue and red would be major overhead resistance. And then the highest you would get is the bottom part of this volume indicator range at 1679, which is not in the forecast. I think the probabilities and the percentages and the odds say we come down here and then eventually down here at this $822 level, or it's actually a little bit below that. Nope, it's about $825 level on this uptrending, green ring down here. I think in the next 2 to 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to hit both of these targets down here, as I think this is getting exhausted. This nice bear market rally that we had there after the big flush and the great dump of early June. So to summarize, short-term support resistance is about the 1329-ish level, the top part of this blue support zone. If you break down, you come down to 1,089.95. If you broke that, you come down to the green ring, which is a medium range target. The moving averages are your upper resistance, and major upper resistance is the bottom part of this red major volume indicator profile range at 1679.18, right? So that's what we're looking like there. If we look at XLM as another top 5 2024 and beyond coin you must own as we move into a cashless society, you can see it's still the same area. You got your major support level. Let's put a price note here. I'm not sure what happened to this one. You got a major support level at about 10 and a quarter to 10 and a third cents. You can see repeatedly we had major support, multiple times support, and then the moving average resistance, the 100-day resistance, in between the 100-day and the 200-day resistance, hitting multiple times on the 1.618 Fibonacci. You can see you hit right there, and you hit right there, back there too. So your major upper resistance is the 1.618 Fibonacci at about 12.8 cents. It's between and all the way down here to 12 and a third cents. These two areas are major upper resistance. Major lower support is 10, just below 10 and a half cents, because if you broke this 10 and a half cent level, you would come all the way down here to the 0.078, or this just above the 7.5 cent level, right? And the top part of the orange support zone, and that is the last line of defense, aka get my shit together, to the shit house, right? So that's what we're looking like there in XLM. Then we have Cardano, and you can see Cardano has come down beautifully like we thought. It almost hit, if we move into the 3-hour time frame, it almost hit the target that we were talking about when the price was back in here, at this 33 cent level, which is the old major resistance level that it broke out of right here. See, when you broke out here, you came back and back tested it as support, and then he kicked off to the upside in a ferocious rally, only to get rejected by a major rejection level from back here, right? But then we've been trading down and sideways, and we had been saying when the price was here and came up and got rejected by the moving averages, that you would come back down and form a double bottom on this 42 cent level. And if you couldn't hold that double bottom, you would likely come down, and that's why we have this target down here to 33 cents and back test this major resistance slash support that it flipped it to. It was major resistance there, then it pumped up and flipped it to support, right? And then we came back down again, held it as support. Now if we come back down and can't hold it as support, you would come all the way down to the next level down, which is 26 cents on that blue support resistance line, right? And then we'll look at XMR. You can see XMR, when we started talking about this, we have our old purchasing tool when we were talking. We were trading up in here, and we were talking about that this looked like it was going to get down, and if it got down below this, if it got down below the $144 level, the bottom part of this red support resistance box, which we know that is the volume indicator, that it would be bearish, and it's been getting resisted, but it's been holding its own right here. But if it breaks this local level, we're going to come down to the top part of this blue trading zone, $128, and then we'd be looking to make maybe even a double bottom from the June lows, because I do think we're coming back down here in XMR. That's why I haven't bought any of this yet, but we're looking to make a huge double bottom, right? Multi-month double bottom. And then if you zoomed out to the daily, you can see that would look like something that would be a tradable thing, that you would come back down. Oh, that would be the 96 cent level. Is where the June flushed down to, and you would think that might be something that you could trade from the even in a bear market, from the 96 cent level, right? Even in a big bear market, this would be something you would think you can trade. It comes back down here, and then you buy the support level when it runs all the way back up into this major resistance area, and that would be a phenomenal trade. Even if this wasn't the bottom and this was just a ferocious bear market rally, you could get 35-40%, and then if it went to the next level, you could get 60%. But you would think that would be something you could trade, and that might be a swing trade potential watch alert area down there. And then if we look into some of the altcoins, we have a new coin, DAPPX, not to be confused with DAPPT or DAP, right? This thing, I don't even know what it was doing back there, so we can't even look at that, because that's just going to make the chart look insane. So I don't really know what's going on with that. So we're just going to put some old support resistance lines here, because this coin, the only thing, I mean, I'm not really going to be able to, this coin is just, the price is just insanely insane. So the only thing I'd be able to say is stating the obvious here, right? You have this big falling channel. We can put the volume indicator on here and just do it from after it already crashed to current price. And I mean, look at that. It's just insane. So you could see that would be your what's been going on here is every time you have these little pumps, you come up to this falling channel resistance. See that? Resistance right there. You see that? Resistance right there. Resistance right there. And then we had a hope resistance right there. And now we're consolidating. What I would say is the smart thing to do is you buy it when it's in this consolidation. You can see it consolidated where it's in a tight range, not really going anywhere. You buy it and wait for a pump and sell into it, right? Same thing right here. It did a little bit, had a quick wick up, but it would be safer for this thing to get rejected and come down to the bottom part of this falling channel at 0.001092 and buy it when it's down here and then sell it when it makes its return run up. That's what I would do. That's what I would wait for, because this thing is just, I'm going to have to look at this for a few days before I would say anything to do. There's no clear area like DAP was before that made it so easy, because if we look at the 3-hour time frame, you can see it literally does nothing and then pumps. So what you'd be doing here is just gambling when it's in this small tight range. You buy now and then hope it has one of these wicks like that, right? Because that would probably be a big return if it just had one of these little wicks. Yeah, 55%. And you would just have to have predetermined sell zones up here already. Like if you bought it right now and then you hope it goes up and does these crazy wicks like that, you just have somewhere up here a seller there. So if it hits it, it sells, right? But this is a very risky trade. It'd be more profitable if this thing had a big liquidation down like that, and then look like this to buy it down here and then play the sell up into something like that. But that's a very interesting but very hard coin to try to give technical analysis on. Right, so I'm going to have to just watch that and